Bree.
God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go.
Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why. I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
And that's why. It's been 3 weeks, and I promise you, I just feel like I got to get back into the groove of things. I'm nervous. I'm always nervous, though. I'm always nervous before each show. Yeah. Okay, where do I go? What I do? Okay, never mind. This is things that people. Yeah. This is things that people don't want to talk about. Brought to you by me, God Level. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm an aunt. I'm a Gigi. I am everything good. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here, lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a father who is currently taking clients right now. Fitness, health, you got a physical ailment, diabetes, cancer, taking virtual clients for weight loss, individuals that are just trying to get back into the routine of things. If you need some help, you should hit me up at master.johnskywalker, at master.johnskywalker on Instagram. Send me a text. Let's have a conversation.
That's what's up. Do it. He's gonna be on. He ain't gonna be on you. He's gonna push you. He's gonna push you.
He's gonna hold you accountable.
You damn
That's
right.
Yeah,
Ivy, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
What's going on, wonderful, lovely people? It is a new year. Happy 2025. I'm your girl, Ivy. You can find me on all social media platforms. You can find me on TikTok, Inattentive Ivy, mom, sister, friend, former military broadcast journalist. I'm talking about mental health. I like to talk about mental health and issues that are plaguing the Black community, especially with mental health. Because me and all my damn ADHD hamsters, I try to, bring some accountability into all of that. I'm a Leo. I'm gonna start adding that to my introduction.
Leo.
And I am a psychology and an art student, and applying for the Masters of Art in Art Therapy and Clinical Psychology. Ow! And I'm gonna share my journey here. Yes, ma'am. I'm sharing my journey here so we can all keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Keeps me accountable too. So let's go.
There you go. There you go. That's what's up. King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself? Where Ivy go?
Peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. And as I say every time that we on here, I am that I am, of service to the community, family, friends, and loved ones. Peace.
That's what's up.
Peace.
That's what's up. Before we get started, I've been holding on to this box for, I don't know, can you see it? Let me pull it up.
It must be.
This is from Charlene. I hate that you can't see the color. The color reminds you of Tiffany's, that bluish color. But she made a cup for me. What do you call them? A tumble?
A tumbler?
There you go. Her name is Charlene. I have never seen this. Everybody that has laid eyes on this cup is like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's been in the backseat of my car. And
did you just pull it out? Oh, look at that. Oh, you're Superwoman. Oh.
I'm sorry. because that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. I said I want a black superwoman. Now I see why everybody was like, "Oh my God, she did a really good job." Her name is Charlene. This is Neil's wife. She makes tumblers, St. Louis. I wish I should have had her last name ready to go. I'm gonna have to find her profile and put it in on our group page. So people, if you're looking for, this is Black owned. We support Black owned businesses.
Let's go.
Point blank, period. If you know someone that has a Black owned business that's looking for advertisement, have them hit us up. We will gladly have you on the show, give you the first 5-10 minutes to pump up your business. Later you can stay or you can go. But we're trying to change that myth that Black people don't support other Black owned businesses. We do over here.
Yeah,
period.
buddy.
We do over here. So this is Miss Charlene. Look for her information in the group chat. I will gladly post it. This is so beautiful. She did a really good job. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I can't wait to use this. I can't. Oh, let me see. Is her information on here? Oh, thank you, Charlene. Handle with care. I have her number. It's on the card. She put it inside. I told you I haven't opened this thing up. This box has been through some things. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hit on our topic tonight.
So let's just go straight into it.
Do you believe that man was actually created first?
Can you give this some background? Okay, give this some background, like to tell before we get started.
Like, why did I want to talk about this? The back and forth between man and woman.
Gender wars.
The gender wars. Every time you look up, man is doing this, and I kind of try to keep my complaints, specifically to what I have experienced, and not putting all men in that category, because I can't do that. I'm surrounded by good men. 2 of them are right here on this show, John and King Newborn. So I can't put all men in there. I just think it's a topic that we should talk about. Who was created first? Is that the reason why a lot of men feel entitled? Ooh. And I'm not speaking for all men. Oh Lord, gender wars aren't about who's created first. They're about who's right.
Good.
That was good. That was good. But that was the reason for the show. It's a lot of back and forth. And I felt like the reason for the red pill community, and this is just my opinion, that they feel entitled because there's a book out there that told them that they was created first. So I'm first, and a woman is supposed to submit to me.
I'm gonna stick a pin in that. That word.
That's a very strong word, and John got rid of it. What did you exchange it out with, John?
Cooperation. But
cooperation.
I mean, again, the word in and of itself, people are attributing the wrong type of energy to submission. Okay. Leaders submit too. Followers submit to leaders. Like, what the heck? And look, there is an objective that requires a team effort. You have somebody leading the team. Somebody is leading the team. Whoever's leading the team is serving the team, but the team is being led by somebody. So everybody got to do their part for the leader. That's submission. You're cooperating to make something happen. Okay. What the heck, man?
Look, it was an interesting topic. It's a very interesting topic, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't believe men was created first. I just don't. I'm sorry. That book out there, because I have too many questions regarding that book. The fact that no women are actually the authors of any book inside of that book. I just, when I look at it and the science, all children in the womb starts off as female. Men are nothing more than a mutation of a woman. I said it. I said it. The XXXY, you a mutation. That's why you ain't got no use for these nipples. No use. No use for them nipples. You have no use of those nipples. You was created in my image. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. So new year, I got a new sign.
And even though, wait. Even though it shouldn't be a big deal, I was rooting for you. This is my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion about, the beginning of life, the creation. I just feel like it should be said that we were both created at the same time, so certain people wouldn't feel entitled as to I was here first and you're here second and you was the beginning of that. Let me just take it back. I don't understand how I can come from a man's rib, but every child comes from a womb of a woman afterward. They lost me there. You lost me there. They lost me there. I'm sorry. They lost me. So no, I don't believe that men were created first. Sorry. I probably never will. Does anybody want to touch on that? Like, no.
I just want to go back to, in fact, I'm going to bring it back up. Where to go? Because Verjai touched on it. Submit is not subservient. The word is not bad. I'm not going to lie. I will tell the truth about my damn self. I have a problem with the word submit. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way that I saw the way that it played out in my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? So I personally have a problem with that word. However, when John, kind of broke it down and was like, it's not necessarily about like the word is very loaded, just like in historical context itself, right? But if you think about, like you just said, John, leaders have to submit, right? And it's really about cooperative trust, right? It's really about how can you trust another person to be the leader of the ship, right? And I'm like, I can get down with that. My issue is that some people don't know how to lead the ship. And I'm gonna go on mute.
That's understandable. It's very understandable.
That's it right there. Stop asking women to submit when you don't even know what direction you're going in.
Yeah.
You don't even know where you're leading them. You have no clue of where you're going yourself. And I just feel like that's ego driven. A man that wants a woman to submit to him, he has no self-control over himself, so he needs something to control over or take control of. That's just you may not like it. Ooh. You may not like it. You may not like it, but when you are so dead set on having a woman that's going to listen and do as you say, that's a problem.
Now, somebody asked a question. Submit was the English translation from another language. What language was that? Because if we really want to talk about it, we can go back to what is it called? Aramaic? That was in the Bible. So it was translated from Aramaic, right? Which was like the beginning language. So really, it's just like the word fear. Almost to me, it's like in the Bible, they tell you you're supposed to fear. You're supposed to fear a loving God. But I'm like, do you fear something or someone that you love, can that exist in the same space?
No.
And I'm just like, that's almost antithetical to human nature. But then that
right.
is a theological question, and that's
So
not necessarily staying here. Okay.
let's pause for a moment and let's just remember something. All right, as we're digesting this, let's remember the big consciousness here is we are talking about an idea, a religious idea, a religious, okay? We are talking about a religious idea here. So this idea is supposed to have a certain type of function, right? Where does this idea really take hold? What are we dealing with here? We're talking about marriage, right? This idea here. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about the rules of marriage.
Yeah.
Right? The dynamics. Hey, how is this supposed to happen? You know, what are the functions? You know, what are the descriptors? This is an ancient text, an ancient idea that we're still trying to resurrect in 2025. Okay? Time is a factor here. When we're talking about this idea, time is a factor here. Does it mean the same? Are we talking about the same thing when we're talking about submit? Are we talking about the same thing?
Not that we used to. I don't think so.
What was marriage back then? Let's just take a moment. Look at marriage back then, okay?
How far back we going?
Again, when this was written, what was the idea of marriage?
The idea.
Just imagine that, okay?
Oh my gosh. You think about that.
So let's take that idea, and here we are in 2025 trying to take that idea and put it here. And so we have that problem. We're taking a very ancient idea and we're trying to modernize it. That's hard.
It is, because it requires a 2025 perspective, a 2025 language. It also, if you think about it, it takes a 2025 space for open interpretation, which means that it's being like, if you think about that word, about that word submission, and if you think about like the idea that you're pretty much running that through, the gamut of a cooperation between two separate individuals and what they deem submission of being. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of interesting.
Okay, so take out the word submission and just put cooperation.
But again, let's just be fair here, okay? Let's be fair here. I'm highlighting the times because there was a different consciousness that produced that idea. Okay, there was a different consciousness back then. Women didn't have the same power that they have today. So when you think about that idea, about that submission in a marriage, that marriage looked different back then. Okay, it did not look like there's a lot more liberty when we marry these days. There's different assets, right? So again, this is why I say, this is very key right here. We're trying to take this idea and we're trying to modernize it. And we're struggling. Let's get to.
Are you all familiar with the Queen Mother? Have you ever heard the term the Queen Mother? The Queen Mother over in Africa, she was the one that passed down the inheritance. She is the one that crowned the king. Just with a little bit of reading, a little bit. When it came to women and having a voice, we had more of a voice then than we had to work for over here, if that makes any sense. Before we were governed under their laws, we had our own way of living prior to coming over here. The woman was held in high regard. She was looked at as an equal versus someone that, you have to submit to me. So So when you talk about marriage, you have to go back to that, what we were doing over here that was not allowed.
I mean, if you really want to go there, there
Yeah.
are so many things that we have
Yeah.
lost just because of the fact that we came from Africa as chattel over here to the
Cattle.
United States, and we were like the
That's
things that
it.
we learned were based off of
Hmm.
European institutions and
That's
weren't
it.
based off of African institutions. So there's
Yeah.
so many things that are. That's the reason why I'm saying, I'm like, when it comes to modern day relationships, they're
Hmm.
left to interpretation, and the
Yeah.
interpretations are varied. And I
Hmm.
think that what happens is because of the individual ego, that's where these ideas get kind of misconstrued and just kind of, scrunched up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because I mean, let's go ahead and keep it a buck, man. Everybody's got a fucking ego. You know what I mean? Everybody. And it's like, have you died to your ego yet? Or maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to like let go of that ego in order to kind of be in a relationship, because relationships are there not to make you happy. They're there to make you conscious and to push you to your highest being. They're
Hmm.
there to, to shape you into the person that you're supposed to be. But I'll digress, and I'll be quiet and put myself on mute yet again.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up, and then I got like maybe a handful of questions because I don't know where we're going with this.
I just wanted it
King,
to go. It's okay.
King, do you believe that man was actually created first?
First and foremost, I don't even deal with the word believe. Let's just start there.
Okay.
Simply put, the way John expressed it, to make the argument who was created first.
Sound low.
To make the argument who was
There you
made
go.
it first, it's irrelevant currently right now. Like Miss Tanner said, you're too busy trying to do the ego thing and trying to lead. Whether it's a man or a woman, you're trying to lead. Trying to lead in an argument, trying to lead in the debate, trying to lead in the perspective, which technically you can't even prove. So since you can't prove it, it's not even worth having an argument about or a discussion. But there's no disrespect to nobody, as God Level said. It's my perspective.
There you go.
Because after you finish saying all that, you're not even understanding what commitment, responsibility, or accountability that you're putting on yourself by saying that you was first. You gotta take a look at that. By saying that you was first, well, I was created first, so therefore everything should go through me and all this other. Okay, all right. Well, then if that's the case, then why things the way they are right now?
Because men are in control. I mean, am I lying?
You know what? I want to say this little part. I'm not gonna say you lying because you're entitled
Thank
to
you.
your truth, Skywalker truth, Tanner truth, and me, King Newborn truth. We all have
Okay.
our truth, and all our truths exist at the same time through our experiences in life. One doesn't denote the other. So even if I said, well, man was made first, like John said, that's basically going off something that was printed in 1601. But that's another conversation for another situation. Furthermore, even if that's the case, and that's my perspective where I'm coming from, basically I'm basically saying because of that, I should be able to have dominion on everything that is in my universe. And as we see, it's a system on a system on a system on a system. So whether you was created first or not, you still don't even have control. We can have this whole conversation over and over and over. You still have no control. If you have control like that, you was created first, you were the first teacher, the first thought, the first consciousness. Why are we in the situation we're in right now?
That's a very good question. Why are we in the situation that we're in right now? That is a
that means responsibility.
Yeah. But
Not gonna lie, that was bars.
Hey.
Not gonna lie, that was bars, bro. Because at the end of the day, that's the thing. No matter who was created first, what does that mean?
Okay.
Where are we at now, and what can we do where can we recognize what needs work and what needs change at this moment? That's kind of
Everybody, both sides.
that part.
Oh, I'm not denying that. Both
Yeah,
sides.
yeah.
Both sides. I think men need a lot of work. Women need a lot of work. We've been tearing each other down for the past 25, 30 years, if not more. It just needs to be like a pause. Just stop. Just stop. That's it.
Oop. Yeah. Jen Ha, you are preaching. You are preaching. When was how many years ago?
I don't care who came first created. We're talking about the beginning of time. I've always had issues with the Bible. I'm not gonna lie. I've always had issues with the Bible. Even reading it as a child, learning about Adam and Eve, learning that, so-called Eve ate the apple. It never specified what fruit it was. And to look in the mirror and to realize that because of what she did is the reason why the so-called world is where it's at today. So someone that looks like me was the reason we are here, because she didn't listen. And I'm like, God damn, that's a lot to take on as a little girl growing up. And then you are told that you are supposed to listen or submit to a man, especially when it comes to marriage. And it's like, I've always had questions. And I probably always will, because when it comes to that book, we don't know. Who's that?
That's so true, man. Well, okay. So I'll actually piggyback off of that and just say that I always had questions, not necessarily in the book, but how it was applied. Like John said, how is it interpreted for us? And I'm old, so 1990, and then 2001, and then 2012, and now in 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that being applied? So yeah, I've always had issues there. Yeah. Just because of the fact, because just like you said, it's like when we were raised as women, hearing that because of Eve broke down everything. Yeah, it's like it makes you think that. It makes you as a woman, like, you automatically think you're jacked up. Go ahead, Mom.
That's it. And that's where they lost me at. Like, I felt so bad reading that. Like, damn, it's my fault. Yeah. Like, I wish I can go back and take the apple or whatever the hell she ate out of hand.
Put that apple down. Put it down. What you doing?
And we don't even know if it was an apple. They never specified it was an apple. It just said the fruit of the tree or whatever. It's just, and we put our own spin on it since then. So we really don't know. And and it's left up to your own interpretation. So when I see come let us make man in our image, to me that specifies more than one person. So, and you lost me again when you have two male principles that's creating another male principle, and I'm just like, nah, you losing me right there. And whereas the women are in the Bible, but why are there no books in the Bible that was written by women in there? Why would they have to be considered the lost books of the Bible? If you're gonna put that out, then put all of it out. Put everything out as a whole.
Well, but I mean, the history is there, right?
The history is there.
Yeah, the history is there, and so there's a little bit of compassion there. If you ask me, there's a little bit of compassion to be given. That when you look at the actual truth and the history of it all, you have to ask yourself, how do I renegotiate with this now? The relationship with this is different for me. And a lot of the times when we feel betrayed in any relationship, we only emphasize the betrayal. We don't even keep the good parts. We don't keep the good parts. Nope, get rid of the whole thing. The whole thing didn't happen. I got to deny the whole relationship. What you could do with discovering the history behind it, the true history behind it, is you say, okay, I like these parts. I'm going to keep these parts. The rest of it, I'm getting rid of.
That's what
The
we
stories,
do now.
we do that with a lot of things.
Yeah,
okay?
we do that now in church. Yeah, we do that now in church. Yeah.
So you gotta consider that what we're dealing with here is a belief system. This is a technology, and we're doing the best that we can with it. And some people just say, you know what, I'm getting rid of it altogether. Some people, they hold on to it and they make their own modifications without saying nothing and not knowing that they made their own modifications. But for the most part, everyone has the responsibility. Everyone has the responsibility of how they convey those beliefs. How do you communicate those beliefs in your reality? You're the one that's channeling it. You're the one that's expressing it. You're the one that's defending it. So how is it enhancing or destroying your relationships? You know, those kind of beliefs, man. Again, this is why we have our patriarchy.
To go back, I want to answer his question, Jen. No.
This question right here?
Yep, no.
Okay.
Not at all. Not when you can have a room full of men discussing without women's health.
Any other point in history?
I think men and women are more equal now than any other point in human history. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I can only tell you what I've read. That's it.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, Jai. I don't think men and women are more equal now. I think it appears that way because of what they allowed to be written in a history book. You know, I mean, when it comes down to it, let's keep that a buck, man, because we really don't know. There's so much that has been struck from history records,
and
from modern
hidden
history records.
from us.
Yeah, when you think about it from a cultural perspective, we are just now seeing more feminine heroines. You know, women of industry, like just kind of being uncovered and like, oh, hey, look, we found a gem right here. It's like every year. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that, and it depends on what culture you're in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to answer this question. How does belief in the primacy of man over woman shape individual identities and relationships? I believe the answer to that question kind of goes back to, to what Jim was saying. He was like, hey, are we more equal now than we have been in human history? And the thing is that, there's no record of that. But if you think about it, if we have people who are healthy enough to take in other modes of thought, other avenues of thought, if they're open enough, you know what I'm saying? I mean, then if that's the point, then I think that it doesn't matter. You know, you have some people who believe, okay, like you said before, God level, okay, man was first and the woman was wicked because she brought this damn apple in here, so you got to do everything it is that I say. Yes, thank you.
That's what it said in the Bible.
Perspective, right? But the thing is that by whose perspective are we going? And are you open to actually seeing other perspectives? You know?
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that that's what really matters. Yeah.
The question is, are you?
Yeah. And look, and that's for men and women alike. Because I always say for myself, I'm gonna keep my side of the street clean. You know what I'm saying? I also realize that more than one thing can be true at the same time. Like I can say that, okay, in my last relationship, yeah, it was some fuckery going on, but they did some things right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
They did some things that were acknowledgeable, and to hold on to that, and that's the way that you create balance. The problem is that, man, with the problem with both, the problem with saying that women came first, that men came first, it all sets up for a relationship to be unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? It all like sets things up to just be so unbalanced. And with everything, man, I just think that you got to find balance in it. That's relationships. That's relationship with self, as well.
There
So,
you go.
yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
it.
shut up again.
No,
Y'all know I
that's
talk a
it.
lot.
She just said it. Renee just said it. She just said it. And Diamond just said it prior to men and women were created equal. It didn't change into Roman ideology. And what they say about Rome never died. It just morphed into religion. That's it. Became the church.
Ooh.
I'm just. Ugh.
Oh.
Who is this guy?
Yo, I do not know, but you need to call in. I'm thinking call in and talk some stuff.
Where's the? It's
Man.
832-479-9035.
Jen High, call in. I'm serious.
Shit.
Oh my gosh, what societal structures and cultural norms Ooh,
Yeah.
wait.
Jen, can you call in?
Who wants to talk about?
The number is posted 832-479-9035. I would love, yeah.
Man, you are not kidding.
That's a lot.
I'm like, he's talking about countries like Korea. In Korea right now, either it's 4B or 4D.
Wait a minute, because I don't want to be
4D
wrong.
movement. Go ahead.
I was just getting ready to say that. Are they not doing the 4B movement where women are not dealing with men in marriage? They're no longer dating them. They are not having children by them. To the point where I want to say last year alone, 150 schools had to close due to the lack of women giving birth. Ooh. Jen over here asking essay questions, baby.
Come on,
say that.
Jen. I'm serious. I'm so glad that you clicked on it, that you were curious. Yeah,
so yeah,
great.
And all of it is due to the treatment that they have been receiving by men. So they said, you know what, we're done. We stop. We're not marrying you. We're not going to have your children. We're not dating you. We will stay celibate. Yeah, it literally just stopped. And it man.
Japan as well. Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
Japan. Yep. Oh man. Japan and Korea. Yeah.
Yeah. That is very
They
true.
are not getting busy over there.
No.
Oh man.
No.
On both sides.
No.
Very much so.
Social expectations make it even worse. Oh gosh. Social expectations still intact, and yet the birth rate decreases, but the expectations are still intact. Tension.
Yeah. And the thing is that the idea of men and women is like it is a modern problem. Like the relationship issues, they're modern problems, but nobody is bringing up modern solutions. They're all trying to revert to things that were written 1,600, 2,000, 2 million years ago to solve a problem that is here today.
Today.
And that is one of the biggest issues, man. That's one of the big yes. And some of this is due to lawful orders by the government. Yes, like China, because China, they said that you're not allowed to have more than 2 children now? It used to be 1.5. And I was like, what you gonna do with the other half? But I'm just gonna throw that out there. But no, seriously, I'm like, and that is very, very true. I mean, I'm just
caught that.
I'm just throwing it out there. But no, those are my hamsters. But yeah, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna read that. I'm Korean, born there, but grown in Panama, educated in the U.S. So yes, cross-cultural questions, religious stuff, and debate in general. Thank you so much.
We really appreciate that, because I was just getting ready to ask, how did he find us?
He said it was recommended, and he clicked on it.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah. In the beginning, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for giving our channel some love, man. We appreciate your questions too. Yeah,
Simple solution. Treat people with respect regardless of gender.
man, and that's the question. Then we're gonna have to get to what's the definition of respect, because some
Be
people say
fruitful and
respect.
multiply.
Oh, Chuck, I'm not even. That's my boy Chuck. Yeah, that's
Hey, what's Alan?
yes. Chuck is a nut boy. He ain't. He is crazy. He was over there in Kuwait with us too. But no, but seriously, like for real, the question is that like, what are people defining their relationships by? Like, what are people defining who is the one who's going to run the relationship?
About what we've been taught, in the past 2, 3, 4 generations.
Mm.
That's literally where it started. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
In the U.S., but like.
That's true. Yeah, but well, I don't want to be. I'm hoping that I'm being culturally sensitive, but I think like the honorifics are like huge. Like in Korea and Japan and China, it's like if you're a year over or a year under like somebody's senior, like you're not even. I can't see you. Like it's like you have to add an honorific to their name. So if somebody was not in your grade, they are dead to you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's not even a consideration. Yeah. Oh, at least I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jen Ha, but yeah. So I mean, so you've got all of those different considerations. Yeah. So like in the US, age isn't a big thing. Maturity and respect could be though. Yes, consideration.
Oh, what did he say?
The spoken word changes completely based on age. Very, very true. Yeah, very true. So I wonder what that is like. So if you think about, is it 4B or 4D? Because I couldn't remember the 4B movement. I think. Okay,
let me go back to it. So it's 4B. They've been talking about this for years.
So if you about that, then that means culturally in Korea, you have a whole entire list of like a whole group of people that you can't even consider for a relationship because of the fact that they are 1 year older than you or 1 year younger than you. So that makes it crazy. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
No sex, no giving birth, no dating men, no marriage with men.
Oh.
And apparently it's working. It is working very well because they had no first graders last year. They had no first graders.
Yeah.
And what is that going to do to the workforce?
Completely decimate. Yeah. Okay. Wait.
In about 5 years, they're going to be begging those women to get.
I don't know what they're going to be doing, but I'm thinking it's going to be really interesting unless they come up with a modern solution to a modern problem.
Okay, why did it start anyway? It was a response to the treatment they were receiving by men. That's why they did it. That was a response. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good to see Jen, huh? All right.
No problem. Ooh. Jen, huh?
Once again, as the world becomes more connected, do you think this will challenge or reinforce the belief in male superiority? Depends. Who's got the loudest voice?
Ooh.
Who's got the loudest voice? When it comes to the idea that male superiority is unchallengeable. Is that a word? Go ahead.
But see, but I will say this though. So there is resistance to that idea by other males though. And I see it, right? I see it. I see what it looks like when you have someone that's moderate. They don't have, like, we're males. We don't think of ourselves as superior, right? We don't have that supremacy mindset. So here we are, we're moderate, and we're trying to get in alignment with other moderates because we know that there are guys that are extremists. We're like, okay, let's stay away from
the real pedo community.
But sometimes sometimes, your personalities bring you to each other's paths, and you got to interact with these guys, and you discover, oh shit, you think like this.
For real.
Oh, what are we gonna do, right? So I think women are looking for that as an accountability measure, not understanding that, hey, look, I don't want to go to war with this dude though. Not over just an idea. Like, this is just an idea. I don't want to fuck you up over this. Like, so sometimes it's unrealistic, and it's unrealistic pressure that you impose on men to hold those guys accountable for that idea, when all we can do is just have a conversation with those brothers. And that's if they're willing to have the conversation. Most of them aren't.
I like how you repeat that last part. Most of them are,
say it one more time.
They don't want to have that conversation, about why they think the way that they think.
So they just take it on.
Because that idea feels good. It feels good. It feeds the ego. So they're attached to that idea. And if I try to challenge it, trying to converse with that, trying to challenge it and, convince you to forfeit it, which I can't do that. I can't convince you to forfeit it. But if I'm trying to hold you accountable for it and you're attached to it, you're going to just defend it because it serves you. Even if you're not really getting the results you want from it in your life, it still serves you. So me, as John, the moderate, trying to challenge that idea, it's like talking to a wall.
Yeah. They're not gonna be moved. I've been on a red pill page, and I was just like,
hey, listen, you know something? It's the same way. Listen, I thoroughly believe that, just like you said, John, you'll challenge those ideas with guys who are in your community, right? I believe as women, we got to shape our, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell myself all the time, I'm like, I will tell my girls, let's keep our side of the street clean. Because there are some women who are extremists who are out there as well. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that everything is about balance. Come into moderation so you can actually listen to a perspective that's not necessarily your own. At least listen. You know what I'm saying? Because you might be able to question some things. Go ahead. My bad.
No, my sister called me a feminist. My sister calls me a feminist. We just need to get rid of that ego-driven mindset that a lot of men have, and just don't come at that stuff like that. That I'm under you. I'm not under you. I just have a thing that I don't feel like women give birth to their superior. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Hey, our boy Jen High, he cooking again. He cooking. He is cooking. So hold on. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is he in college right now?
I don't know, but let's go ahead and attack this. So let's just say, because we're all talking about the advent of AI, like that's supposed to be a new thing, right? So if humanity developed a way to grow human beings without relying on a human
they're
body,
working on it right now. You better know it. They're working on it right now.
Would this contribute to greater equality or further deepen inequality?
That would deepen inequality. Men would feel like they don't need women, and women would feel like they don't need men. That's why we got a whole bunch of sperm banks out there. They can, if they have been unlucky in finding a mate, they can go to the sperm bank and get them one.
But so I think that's kind of like the thought experiment, right?
Yeah.
Let's remove the reproductive value that we have right now. So how does that change our dynamics, right? Like, what reason do we have to relate to each other now? We ain't gonna be reproducing, so is it sex for pleasure?
Whoa.
They making robots for that too. It,
They really are.
I'm serious. They making AI for everything.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Listen,
It's
you know
drive.
something?
It will literally drive us further apart from one another.
I was just gonna say that because at the end of the day, the human element is the human element. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean, just learn how to fucking relate. You know what I'm saying?
Communicate.
Learn how to
Heal.
communicate. That is a part of
Yeah.
your character development arc. Like if you were I'm an anime fan. It's a part of your anime character development arc. Learn how to fucking relate.
We are in a world of trouble. I'm so serious. We are in a world of trouble because they're creating machines to get rid of the human experience and give us something human-like.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, next thing you know, we're gonna be buying babies in a store. I want the brown one. I'm serious. It is sad.
Emphasis on the at one point. At one point.
That's true. We're abundant. Now, if you think about it, I don't mind that assessment because if you think about what emotions are, that an ego, right? It honestly is a development of biochemicals that are producing a result in the body, right? So because of these feelings, and people don't know how to do things with these feelings and with these emotions, it's like the ego comes up to protect, right? So yeah, Chuck, you're right. Communication is no longer normal because of the fact that we don't want to feel those chemicals that had us, feeling kind of despondent. And maybe I'm going out on a deep end, but y'all know my hamsters be hamstering. So
you're right. That's why when you look on Facebook, you have Meta AI, or you have the chat group where you can have a conversation with a computer. It's on Snapchat, or you can download it. Oh my God.
Yeah. But then check that out. We need emotional maturity in order to relate, consider, and respect one another.
Respect another.
But I want us to, for a moment here, because I know we're emphasizing the problem. We're emphasizing this problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want us to give ourselves some grace as a species, okay? This part right here, emotional maturity, I just want you to think, past 100 years, just past 100 years. How many of those years do you think that phrase emotional maturity was being echoed?
3.
In the okay. So emotional maturity is kind of a relatively new concept for us as a species. All right. So all of those centuries, okay, all of those centuries of none of that, okay, and we're still here.
That is very true. Where people
There's the
like,
grace, okay. There's the grace in it all. We can kind of give ourselves a little bit of a break, some forgiveness. Say, hey, we did okay. We could definitely do better.
Alan said it, man.
Right.
There
But
it is. Yeah.
We're still figuring out. We're still figuring out how to love each other. Crazy enough, just thousands of years, and we're still not getting it right.
And the winner for this award goes to Virjai. The more you know, the more is expected of you. I wholeheartedly believe that. And because of the fact that we have technology, and because of the fact that we didn't have the term emotional maturity 3 years ago, and because of the fact that we didn't have this knowledge, because of the fact that we couldn't open a book, because of the fact that our parents and their parents and their parents' parents couldn't answer these questions, but we have the knowledge, more is expected of us. So that means that we have to come up with modern solutions to modern problems. So we could stay stuck in the problem, or we could find solutions for all of it. Man, I'm always like, hey, rant, talk about how bullshit it is that X, Y, and Z is going on. Now, let's get to a solution.
But I do want to take a quick pivot back to something that you were talking about, as it relates to why you don't see women authors in the Bible, right? And I really want you to just remember during this time here. I mean, we know why. I mean, oppression, okay?
Yeah.
So we have to remember that climate. Who was going to school or who was being taught to write? Being taught to read. What were the women doing? They were working with they were not in school. There was no public education. Wasn't like that. All right. So, it was all about the trades. It was all about the crafts, the skills, the artisans. Right. So you're not going to have a lot of women, a slew of women out there acquiring those skills to provide those services, authorship. But they might have been orators, of course, right? Or, oracles. But again, we're giving a little bit of grace here, right? Women were oppressed, Joe. They weren't given the opportunities, right? And we're looking at the climate now, and it's like, okay, we're doing a little better. Globally, we're doing somewhat better. We got a few women out there that are in positions of office. We got some presidents out there that are women, but dang, Mexico beat us to a woman president. I mean, god dang,
Oh, that's facts. No, go ahead. Oh, look, say it with your chest. I'm gonna go on mute.
Nope.
And I'm gonna turn my camera off.
Nope, because I want to stay safe. I want to stay safe. No, I wanted to say something. Go do your research on that. Go do your research on that one, baby.
Ooh. If we discover a way to chemically evoke the emotion of love, do you think it would lead to greater unity or increased division? Now, that is a very interesting question, right? Because, I'm going to ask you, Jai, because I know being a psychology student, what are the chemicals that are involved with the thing love? You got serotonin, you've got oxytocin, wait. I think I'm talking about a drug.
Well, but let's just keep in mind, right? But let's just keep it simple. All right. Chemical, biochemical, we're still talking about a drug, okay? We're still talking about a substance that's going to induce a state. So let's just keep it what it is. If that substance was there, it would just be another thing for us to get addicted to. But also, you have to create the problem of, well, hey, there are people that don't know love. They don't have this experience, or they don't experience this emotional state. They're in a desperation for it because somehow biochemically we fucked up our species to the point where they can't feel love anymore. Somehow we made it happen. We made it happen. And so now it's a pharmaceutical. It's a pharmaceutical. So that's what we're talking about. If it's a pharmaceutical, you can create the demand for it, and it could create more division.
You think it would create more? Okay, but hold up. But wait, let me throw this in there, right? If you think about, so there is a difference in my mind, and just because on my journey, I've learned that there's a difference between obsession and love. What a lot of people are out here calling love is actually obsession.
And that's attachment, and that's due to attachment.
And attachments and obsessions are normally associated with things that are addictive. Right? But if you could actually chemically induce transparent, real, healthy love, would that really add more division? If you think about the chemicals that are really involved with healthy, transparent love, it makes room for transparency. It makes room for communication. It makes room for being able to see other perspectives. So would it really cause more division? Just throwing that question out there.
That'd be too perfect of a world.
You think that would be too perfect?
That would be the world is ran off of fear
I'm looking
and
at the face.
division. I'm saying no, and us not being in union. Mm-mm. No,
Good.
that will be too much of a perfect world where everyone had care and compassion and was kind. That the world that we live in don't run off of that. It's keeping us separated.
You think so? I don't know. Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, so Jen Ha is cooking. Jen Ha is cooking. Okay, would that not only apply if the love is towards the same thing, the same God, same family, same culture? Would that not only apply if the love is towards the same thing? I mean,
Sometimes too.
Go ahead.
What is it? Too much of a good thing is not good for you. Too much of one thing
Ooh.
is not good for you.
They said, but it would be fake anyway.
Yeah, just
Oh.
you're inducing something that is not there, so it won't be real. Each other. What is this? There was some game.
I don't know. It's like,
When it comes to culture, religion has impacted culture. Culture is a way of life, and culture is different everywhere you go. Religion is the basis of all of that for some people, for some cultures. It.
So it's not love. Okay,
No,
then what is
I
it?
mean, if you have to induce it, you have to. That's no.
Okay, so listen. I mean, man, there are so many ways that we can like go down the rabbit hole.
It is.
I honestly think there are so many ways that you can go down a rabbit hole with that. Then I'm like, if that's the case, then these people who are taking drugs to get them off of depression, like, is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that real? Is that manufactured? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because those are real chemicals that are helping to lift them out of a mind state. And I think that love is honestly, I believe that it's a mind state. And then, go ahead.
No, so you don't believe that both can acquire balance? No, Jen, I was reading what he was saying.
Okay. What was he?
I'm waiting for him to respond. One has to lose for the other can win. When it comes to culture and religion,
I don't understand, why can't two things be true? Listen, I live by that one. Two things can be true, baby.
I am not gonna lie. My sister taught me that one. Two things can be true. My sister taught me that. Yeah. I guess it would all be your mindset when it comes to religion. If that's something that's deep rooted within you, that's something that you do, it will influence your way of life.
That is a good. Yeah, that's really good, Jai. It's manufactured to help the problem. So I guess you're talking about like the depression drugs and things of that sort. But inducing love emotions will depend on intent. You know what? I didn't even think. Yeah, that's right. Because what are people's intent? What are their intent? And intent is huge. And intent cannot be recorded. It can only be told like after the fact. Think about like when a person just does something that's pretty just ridiculous and egregious, right? And they'll always be like, but that's not what I meant, right? And something else that I learned that we judge ourselves as people. We judge ourselves based on our intentions, but we judge other people based on their actions. So if somebody is loving and their action is not necessarily fruitful, then their intent doesn't fucking matter, right? I mean, just to throw that out there. Just to throw that out there. The win-lose concept is that come on.
Go back to what you just said. Say it one more time. The what again?
Wait, what did I just say? I got ADHD, so I can't run it back.
Damn it. Now I'm gonna have to run the whole damn take back.
No, I'm saying it's like, we judge. Okay, so
intent and action.
Yeah, okay, it's like we judge ourselves based on our intent, right? Like when we're talking about ourselves, but we judge other people based on their actions, right? Okay. So it's like, if they can say I meant to do something, you know what I'm saying, but we're not judging you based on what it is that you thought, because we can't see that. We only see you for your action.
That's because we've been brought up. Action speaks louder than words. That's what we've been taught to believe.
Yeah. Are we fantasizing about inducing love? No, that's right. Something that's very true. Love can only be
cannot
realized.
be done. Yeah, it can.
Okay.
It can't. You
So
can't.
again,
No.
Go ahead, Mama. I talk a lot. I'm gonna put my.
No, it's okay. No, we're coming up on our hour anyway. But yeah,
I talk a lot.
we're gonna go ahead and stick a pin in this one. I want to talk about marriage. Some marriage work.
Oh. Okay, so if we're trying to solve a problem, what doesn't make marriage work?
There you go.
Oh.
So that's next week's.
Oh, come back, Jinha. Come back next week, man. Come back. Like Schrodinger. Oh my gosh. Until we make
man. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Both love and obsession.
That's very true. Until we make a measurement to distinguish between them. That is so true.
Love and obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want somebody to be obsessed over you?
Oh. I'm not in that step yet, but I'll give you a subscribe. Hey, thank you for coming on. Dead serious. But yeah, let's come back to that, man. Next week, let's talk about marriage, what makes it work, what makes it not work, and the idea of gender wars, because I think that's going to be a good one.
Man, it is. Oh. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't know if John is still there. John, you got me? He said one of us might have to close out. Oh, well, he's gone. I got it.
Salute.
Okay, did I do it right? I didn't.